guys, I get it. Starting out with buying fragrances can be pretty intimidating. There are a lot of fragrances out there. There are a ton of different choices at all different price ranges. Anything from $10 to several $100s. You know, there's a lot out there. And sometimes that can be pretty deterring for people who are just wanting to start and build up a collection for themselves. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly how I would spend $500 if I had no fragrances at all. I was a complete beginner and I just wanted to start and build up a collection with that amount of money. So kind of think of this as like a beginner starter pack with a $500 budget. And what I plan on doing is kind of making this into a series. So we're starting off here with $500. We can go up in price, we can go down in price. So it'll be kind of fun to give you an idea of what I would personally purchase with a certain amount of money to build up my collection. And hopefully this will help some of you guys out if you're just starting out as well. Before we jump into this video, if you're new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on post notifications and like the video. Once you've done all that, let's go and jump right into this. So all these prices are going to be ballparked. I mean, you know, I just did a quick search for each of these and kind of just took what about they were going for and just rounded it up to make it easy. So, you know, all these prices are going to be pretty accurate. I mean, it's going to give or take a little bit, and then of course with shipping and tax. So don't drill me too hard with the pricing. You know, it's going to be up to you to go out and do some research and kind of figure out what you want to purchase from. But let's start off with the first fragrance I would choose. That one is Dolce Gabbana, the One Eau de Parfum. So this one comes in at about that $50 point for a 100 ml bottle, which is this size right here. Great bang for your buck. In my opinion, a must-have for everyone. And if I was rebuilding my collection from scratch and I only had $500, this one is definitely going to be in there. Fantastic scent, and really a must-have for anyone. The second fragrance here we have is Versace Man Eau Fresh. So this scent comes in at about the $40 price point for 100 ml, and this one is really great for the summertime. Any sort of summer casual activities out there, this is one that I'll usually reach for a lot. Works great in the heat, especially in the really high heat. Smells tropical, musky, citrusy, and overall is another one that I will choose every time to have in my collection. And coming in at about $40, it's hard to beat. So that is the second one I would choose, Versace Man Eau Fresh. I also want to mention that with this $500 price point, these are going to be all designers but one niche fragrance, which will be at the end of the video. Kind of depending on the budget and the price point that I'm doing for these videos will depend on which fragrances I pick. So higher budgets, I'll choose more niche fragrances. Lower budgets, I'll stick with mostly designers and cheaper scents. I'm just going to kind of cater, you know, if someone has $500, they're more likely going to want to throw in a niche fragrance or two since they can afford that in the budget. Third fragrance I would pick is Dior Savage Eau de Toilette. So I'm choosing Eau de Toilette for two reasons, one of which being I just like it a lot and it's the only Savage I own. It works perfect for me. The second reason is because right now this is going to be the cheapest. There are now three versions, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, and Parfum. And because this is the OG, this one's been out the longest, this is going to be the cheapest. So 100 ml is going to be running you around $75 on average. Again, you'll probably be able to get it cheaper in some places. You'll probably be able to find it more expensive at other places. It just depends. Just kind of go out there and do some research for yourself. But coming at that price point is a little bit more pricey compared to the other two that I've already talked about. But in my opinion, 100% worth it. I was kind of deciding whether or not I wanted to put Prada Carbon in here instead because Carbon would be a little bit cheaper. On average, that one's going to run you about $50 for 100 ml. But, you know, I thought, you know, with a little bit of a higher budget, I would just go ahead and spring for Savage. This one does perform better. And in my opinion, it just does the job better overall. Again, you are paying a little bit more, but it definitely makes up for it in performance. I get over 8 hours longevity every time from this scent, and very strong projection as well. And because of that added performance, it makes it so that it works great all year round. You know, where Carbon is not going to perform that good in the cooler weather, Savage always cuts through even in the winter for me. And that's something that is nice here. You are paying a little bit more, but that makes up for it in its versatility and its performance. So again, around the $75 for 100 ml. But again, if I was building up my collection from scratch, this one's definitely going to be in there. Up next, we have Hugo Boss Reversed. So this one's coming in at about that $50 price point, and this is a 125 ml bottles. So you are getting a little bit more fragrance here for the price you're paying, which is great. This stuff, in my opinion, is one that everyone should seriously look into. Really great citrus scent. One of the best designer citrus scents that I've put my nose on here within the past few years. Really incredible stuff. In my opinion, they killed it with this release, and it's one that I think everyone should check out if you want a nice, easy to wear summer scent that has good compliment factor, great versatility, and respectable performance. Got to check this one out. And again, around that $50 price point, which is pretty competitive. At some places, you'll be able to find it a little bit cheaper when it's in stock. Other places, it's going to be around that $50 point, maybe around $60, but really must have, and it's a great scent. Hugo Boss Reversed. And no, we're not done yet, fellas. Coming in next, we have La Nuit de l'Homme. So this one on average is going to be coming in at around $65 to $70 for 100 ml. In my opinion, everyone needs a great date scent, and if you're looking to build up your collection with only $500, this is really one of the best you can get without spending too much on a date scent. Really fantastic, fantastic stuff. Works great in dates, like I just said, or really in evenings out in general. This stuff is going to kill it. Again, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's completely worth it. People are going to talk about the reformulations and the different batches and stuff like that. The current formulation is just fine. Just roll with it. If you can find an older bottle for cheaper, or not for cheaper, but for at least a decent price, and you want to spend the extra money, then you can go for it if you want. It's really not worth it though, again, especially if you're on a $500 budget. Just go with, whatever you can find, a 100 ml bottle for, the cheapest price you can get. That's what I would roll with. It's going to do the job just fine. So up next we have Dior Homme Eau. So chances are, if you're going to spend $500 all at once on a bunch of fragrances, you probably have, a pretty solid job, and you're going to need a good fragrance to wear to that job, and that's where Dior Homme Eau is going to come into play. Perfect work scent. If you work some sort of office job, something where you're a little bit more dressed up and you want to smell mature and upscale, this is definitely the one you're going to want to reach for. Perfect for that. You can also dress this one down though, a little bit more casual, but it really works great when you are dressed up and you're wanting to portray status and high class. This one is going to do that for you. Really nice iris scent. It's a nice fresh take on iris with some citrus and some pepper notes and a little bit of a spicy kick. Fantastic scent with really good performance for what it is, and a great office scent, a great work scent. Dior Homme Eau. Definitely one you should highly consider. Coming up next here, we have CH Men Prive. So this one is going to be coming in right around that $50 point. And again, that's for 100 ml. Basically, all these have been for 100 ml, if I haven't been saying. I accidentally grabbed my 200 ml bottle of CH Men Prive here. I just wasn't thinking about it. So just imagine about like that. That's about what 100 ml CH Men Prive looks like. And that's going to run you about $50. So really solid price again. And this scent is going to be one that you want to wear when you want something a little bit more daring, a little bit more out there, a little bit more edgy. You'll hear people talk about this being the leather jacket fragrance all the time, which if you're into leather jackets, this is definitely going to be one that you're going to want to consider. But even if you don't wear leather jackets, you can still wear this scent if you're dressing in an all black outfit. This one would be killer for that. So this one is great when you just want something a little bit more daring. You want to be a little bit more attention grabbing and just stand out a little bit more and kind of show off your masculine side. Definitely check this one out. Really great leather whiskey scent, and definitely one that you should highly consider to have in your collection. I know for me personally, I love wearing this one a lot in the fall. It just works great. Up next, we have Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. So this one comes in at around the $30 price point for 100 ml, which is very solid, especially for a Guerlain. Great quality scent here with, a really nice, unique DNA. This stuff is definitely a winner. This is another one that would be a great work scent. This would be perfect even dressed up. I know some people have mentioned it would smell great if you're wearing like a tan suit, kind of almost matches the color of this bottle. And I would have to agree 100%. Anything dressed up like that in a suit, this would work great. It's got some nice grapefruit with like a creamy almond note. So it's like a summer gourmand type of scent is how I've kind of described it. Really great, unique stuff. In my opinion, it's definitely underrated. And for the price of $30, this one's really hard to beat. This is another one that's very upscale, very classy. And if you want to make an impression on someone that you are of high status, this one will definitely kill it. And, don't let it fool you just because it's a cologne scent, as in the name. Doesn't mean that it's going to be something that's way too casual and fresh and not very long lasting. This one still does have a lot of like an upscale and classy appeal. And finally, fellas, at the last fragrance here, this is the one niche fragrance I was talking about. This one is Mancera Cedrat Boisé. So like I mentioned kind of towards the beginning of the video, I wanted to include at least one niche fragrance in here for this $500 budget. You know, I kind of thought about maybe doing two, but I figured, you know, with $500, you know, there are a lot of quality scents that you can get within the price points that I mentioned. So you have not only a lot of options, but a lot of high quality scents as well. Because there could have been a couple different ways you could have spent this budget. You could have bought, you know, a couple expensive niche fragrances and that would be it. Or you could have gone out and bought a bunch of $10 to $20 cheap fragrances. You know, like I said, there's multiple different ways you could have done this. So I tried to spread it out and kind of give you a decent amount of scents to choose from, all at, you know, being high quality as well. And for my niche fragrance, the Drap Boisé, I chose this one just because this one's really hard to go wrong with. This was my first niche fragrance that I picked up, so it does, you know, hold a nice place in my heart. This kind of got me into collecting niche. But not only that, it's just a great scent to have. Performance is very good. I get over 9 to 10 hours on my skin every time. Projection is very solid as well. This is one that I wore a lot in the winter, even though it's not necessarily a winter fragrance, but because it performs so well, it worked great. On top of that, it is so versatile. It does have a very easy to wear DNA. It's woody, it's fruity, it's a little bit musky. It basically checks all the boxes of, you know, a really fantastic scent. And again, this one comes in at about $80 if I didn't mention that already for a 120 ml bottle like this. For a niche fragrance, that's a killer deal. So I definitely wanted to include this one in there. Mancera Drap Boisé, excellent stuff. So guys, that is it for this video. That is how I would spend $500 if, you know, I was a beginner into collecting fragrances. You know, this right here would give you a very solid collection, not only to just start with, but really realistically to just keep for as long as you want. I mean, for most people, you don't need much more than this. Of course, if you like the hobby and you want to keep doing this, and of course you can add more to it, but you know, this is more than enough for the average person to be able to smell good all year round and have a nice variety to choose from. Anything from upscale dressy fragrances to date fragrances to casual fragrances for any time of the year. You're pretty much covered with this list. So hopefully you guys found this video interesting. Hopefully this can help some of you out. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do this for some other price ranges as well. So maybe I'll go up to $1,000, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'll go less than $500 here, kind of do some more budget friendly versions and some higher tier videos if you guys want that. So kind of going to do a bunch of stuff with this. I think is a pretty cool idea. So let me know down below what you think and what you would choose for this video. That's going to do it, guys. So if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.